Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to see how to store JSON data or API response or request in database using MySQL. So, API data and like mobile app responses or most of like payment API responses, requests, all these are structured in JSON format. So, if you want to log the API logs, if you want to capture the API logs in your database, so you need to capture the JSON response and request in your database. So, but if you store the JSON in a text format in varchar, so there might be a performance or integrity issues. So yes, that's what in today's video we're going to see how to store complex JSON in MySQL using native JSON data type, and how to query and how to update the uh, particular parameter data or particular parameters changes. Like simply we can say like partial data, how to do a partial update. So let's see. First, we'll create a table. So I'll be giving a name as API logs, and first column will be giving as logging ID. It will be of integer data type, and we'll keeping it as auto increment and also as primary key. And second column will be having API name, uh, which is of varchar. You can say some 100 characters. Mostly you can use 50 characters or something. It's up to you. So next we'll be taking payload, which will be using JSON data type, and we'll be taking as logged on column also. So we can directly capture the date time uh, at which the response is logged in the database. So this is a create query. So let's create the table. So table got created. Let's refresh it and we can see over here. So now we'll insert the data, and we'll see a sample JSON format, a sample JSON, so that we can have an idea. You can have an idea. So how the JSON data looks like. So it will be like in this format. Payment. I'm taking an payment API reference. So you can see payment ID. So in most of the scenarios, different APIs like different systems might send different type of values. So here I'm taking the values and parameters as a sample format just to show you. So next second column I'm taking status. So in API terminology we'll be calling them as API keys or parameters. We can give the value as success. So we got for pay underscore 123 ID. We will be we received a success response. We can say like that. So amount. So under amount we can give some ₹1,000 and we can close the bracket. So this is the simplest JSON format, which you can assume, you can see. So now we'll insert the same data into the database, and we'll see, and we'll do a select query, and also we'll update the data, and let's see how it works. So we can write an insert query, insert into API logs. We will be inserting only two columns. So since we have already declared this as auto increment column, and this even the date time will be auto captured. So now let's directly insert the values into this API name and payload. So there are two columns that we are going to insert the values: API name, comma, payload. So the values we can directly copy this. We will be using this only. So this the same format will copy, and so we'll be inserting this in the payload column, because that is a JSON column which we created. So for the API name, we can give multiple APIs. There might be multiple APIs, like you can say PayPal is also one of the payment method that we use. So you can just, and we can close the bracket. We can give a second value. So I'll just copy this. We can change the values inside it. So this will be, this we can take Paytm, and we'll give it as 234. You can also change this. This can be 123. You can also, the amount might be different. You can copy this again, and you can just paste it over here, and you can change the values and give razor pay. So this is also a different payment source that we are using. So most of the people might notice it. So the amount can be different. So let's insert only these many columns, and let's see how it. So the data got inserted. Now you can simply I'll just show you a simple select query. So how we capture the logs. We just capture the logs in this format. So this is the JSON data that we have inserted in this. Okay. So now you want to select a particular parameter value. So simply if you use a varchar data type. So in such scenario, this entire column will be treated as column value. This row value will be treated as text. But now we are treating it as a JSON only. The JSON format which we have inserted into a JSON data type column is will be treated as a JSON only, and also it will validate the format. So I can give you an example before going into a select statement. Just want to show you how it validates. So if I'll just remove this, and I'll make a new entry, just one more entry, and I'll keep it as PayPal only. I'll just give some random values over here, and I'll just change. I want to change the amount, and I'll give I will use single quotes over here. So now you can just see. So it throwed an error because this is not the JSON type format. So either it should be quoted, or it can be without quotes. The amount value. So this is how the JSON data type validates the data before inserting into it. If you use nvarchar, so it directly takes the entire text as it is, how you insert it into. So this is the difference, one of the major difference that you can find. And second thing, I'll show you one a select query. So how to select a particular value. So if normally this is entire text, you assume this is an text. So if you want to select a particular parameter like status and payment ID, so how you will do? So you can select it as select. You can select JSON underscore extract. I can give two columns. One column is payload. So payload is nothing but this column, this data, and also you don't want to select the entire payload. You just want to select a particular value in the payload. So I am defining it single quotes dollar dot the parameter value that you want to display. I think you understood. So this is a column, and this is the entire value, and these are the parameters, and these are the values of the JSON. So the main use, this is the one of the major use. You can also select a single particular parameter value also in the JSON. So I'm just copying this. You can just copy over here, and you can uh, close the bracket, and you can give it a name as payment ID. Because why I'm saying payment ID, because it might be payment ID in some other cases. It might be different. The value might be different. So payment ID. So I can also use as it is. So it's not an issue. Just want to show. So extract. I'm extracting the API name also. So for API name, JSON extract is not required. You can simply write it as API name. And now I want to extract status and amount also. So I'll just copy this and I'll just rename the values. So I copy it. So the values will be status, and we can write it as payment status. And we can copy this, and we also want to view the amount. So I'll be adding amount also in this, and we can give it as paid. And also we want to see the lockdown. Lockdown means when the entry is logged into our system. So even this we are capturing. Just want to show so how it works. So from where we are selecting all these details from API underscore logs. So let's see. Let's execute the query and we'll see. I think two times we have entered this to be removed. So here we started the bracket, and here we opened the bracket, and now we are closing it. That's it. So okay, let's select. So now you can see. Now you can see earlier I also give a comparison now. So we can just also take payload just for our comparison. So how it works. So this is the payload. So this is the entire payload that we have uploaded, and we are selecting on the basis of individual parameters also. So this is the main use of JSON data type. So this is the main use of JSON data type. We can't do it in the varchar data type. Okay, so this is how we select individual data parameter values. Partial data you can also view. Simply you can say partial data you can you can view, and it's not you can't, most of the time it's not easy to read hundreds of parameters. Here there are only three parameters: status, amount, and payment ID. But in real-time scenarios, they might share huge number of data, so everything can't be viewed. You can't search and go and search each and every parameter. So it will be better if you use the JSON data type. So and also, if here you are getting the double quotes, you can see here you are getting the double quotes, so you can remove them. So there is one more uh, keyword called command called JSON UN quote. So I'm just closing it. So now I'll execute it again. So for the payment ID, we are getting double quotes. We are removing it. We are removing them. So now those are removed with this query. You can just note it down. JSON underscore and UN quote and JSON underscore extract. So JSON underscore extract we are writing because to view the particular parameter value in the logs. So this is how we can write a select query. You can view a particular data, proper data. So since we are already having logging ID, if you want to select any particular value, you can also do. And also you can search on the basis of payment ID also in the where clause. So let's see how to update the data. So API underscore logs. So we are updating the same. We'll be changing uh, payload data only, but which data we are going to change? So we are going to set the JSON. Set JSON underscore set. So now we can take the same thing and we can copy over here. And we can give a value that you want to change. So for payment ID 1, we already gave value as 1000. So I'll give it as something like this. And I don't want to update the entire table. So I just give the logging ID. For the first logging ID, I'll be giving the update commands query. So I'll just execute it. So it is executed. Now let's see. Let's check whether it is working or not. So I'll add the same where clause over here also. Why we'll see all the data. We can sort it down. So select. Yes, it got updated. The value from 1000, it got updated to the huge number. You can see. So this is how you can use the JSON data type. You can see you haven't extracted the entire payload. You haven't extracted like this. You didn't did the thing like this. This is the thing which we'll be doing. So basically what we'll be doing, we'll be updating the entire payload. We'll be doing this scenario. So ideally we'll be doing this, right? So ideally we'll be doing this. I'll make it as 10 rupees. So this is the thing which we are doing. So it is not required to do and copy the entire text. This might there might be 100 as a since we are discussing from the start. There might be n number of parameters, n number of values which you are getting. So we can't check and each and everything go into the particular column. So it's better if you know the parameter name. You can directly change the value. You can do the partial update over here itself. It's not required to go through the do with this entire JSON form, JSON data. So this is how we'll be using the JSON data type. So how it differs from the varchar data type. So thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel. for more updates. Thank you so much.